Hey guys, what's going on? It's Infinite here on 5 Minutes or Less. So this is the second video in the series mixing rap vocals. And the first one we were cleaning up the vocal with a gate, some editing, and an EQ. In this one we're going to be enhancing the vocal and further cleaning it up with a compressor and a de-esser. So a compressor, what it does is basically it evens out the signal level. So let's say at some points your artist gets really loud and at other parts they're really quiet. A compressor is going to make that more even so that, at one point you're not blasting the listener's ear and the next point they can't hear what the rapper's rapping about. So if you're not a mixing engineer and you don't aspire to be, basically what you need to know is ratio on a rap vocal, you want about 3:1 to about 5:1, and that's going to be your preference. Think of it this way: if the vocals are more crazy in terms of volume changes, like really loud, really quiet, really loud, really quiet, you'll want a higher ratio to even that out. And if it's pretty consistent like this one, a gen total ratio of 3:1 will do. Basically what that says is above our threshold, every 3 decibels in real life, like how loud the rapper actually was when they were performing, we're only going to actually hear 1 decibel come out. And so it tightens up that dynamic range, more consistent on the take. So again, attack on a rap vocal you usually want pretty fast because rappers are usually rapping fast. About 0.5 milliseconds is what I'm doing here, and a release of about 250 milliseconds is usually good. That way it doesn't get too pumpy and breathy, it stays pretty smooth and flowy. So the first thing you're going to notice is that your threshold might not be this exact number, and that's good. These other settings, ratio, attack, and release, you could copy perfectly, and it'll probably sound great on your vocal. But what's key is the threshold, because the threshold is going to depend on how loud the recording is, and that's going to vary from rapper to rapper, take to take. So in this case, you can see the blue is where his max volume is, and I'm actually getting what's called gain reduction, or like we talked about, every 3 decibels that goes up in real life, we're only hearing 1 come out. That's what gain reduction is showing us, how much of that is happening. So we have actually 11.5 gain reduction, decibels of gain reduction going on. And so what you would do to combat that is it's called makeup gain. And so you don't always have to match the peak like I didn't hear. You want to do it to basically make it sound the same volume so that if you have the compressor off and you press play and then you turn the compressor on, the vocal is going to be about the same level. Coming with the flow like yo dog chill, this the reason I'm alive and I'm feeling straight privileged, life full of love from above, bringing real hits. So if you're watching over here, the vocal actually didn't get significantly louder, but it sounded more full. That's because we're compressing it. And so more of those low volumes are coming through, making the vocal a lot more thick and prominent in the mix. So that's compression in a nutshell. And now we are going to go to a de-esser. What that does is exactly what it sounds like. It removes a lot of sounds in the vocal, which you definitely would not want. So if you have Waves plugins, this is part of their gold bundle. It's called the de-esser. Otherwise, I think you can just get any de-esser, truthfully. There's a free one by some company. The plugin bundle is called Fish Fillet, I believe. They got a really nice de-esser. You could go find that online from a legit site. Don't get a sketchy site. And it's free anyway, so you don't need to go to a different site. And download that, watch a YouTube tutorial of how to do it, and it's a really nice de-esser too. Anywho, so I loaded the Male S preset, which sets you up at about 4500 frequency. But I ended up lowering it a little bit for this take. Basically, what all this is saying is, hey, at what frequency should the plugin be looking for the sounds? And that's going to vary a little bit depending on the artist. I found males are usually 4,000 to about 5,000, and females are usually like 5,000 to 7,000, but again, it's going to depend on the microphone, the vocal, the room, all that jazz. So here we are again with a threshold. So what's this saying? I think you figured it out by now. Is, hey, any volume above this, let's pull the S out. And so here I'll quick show you before the de-esser. Listen to Yo Dog Chill this, the S on this. Coming with the flow like Yo Dog Chill, this the reason. You hear it kind of pops or sparkles in your ear. And so now this is going to remove that without ruining the audio. Coming with the flow like Yo Dog Chill, this the reason I'm alive and I'm very subtle, but you see we got 9 decibels just pulled out of there. Again with no de-ess.
Coming with the flow like yo dog chill, this the reason
And with de-ess.
coming with the flow like yo dog chill, this the reason I'm alive and I'm feeling straight privileged.
Very subtle. You usually don't want it to be too noticeable. You know, like if I have it way down here,
Coming with the flow like yo dog chill.
sounds like I'm rapping into a sock. So you'll want to find that sweet spot where it's getting rid of the harshness of it, but it's not actually destroying your audio. So there you have it. There's compression and de-ess in a nutshell. Again, the reason we'd compress is to make the volume more consistent in our rap performance and to thicken up the vocal. And then you de-ess to clean up any unwanted sounds that can be distracting or bothersome. Alright guys, hope you have a great day.